Hello guys, so we have prepared our backend server and we developed the cells to show the posts, and now we will write a function which will upload the post from the server, and then it will be shown in our app. So we're going back again to our Xcode project, and since the posts are shown in the home view controller, currently what we're developing now, so we will go directly to home VC class, which is that one. Okay, I'll scroll right to the top, and I will prepare to create. I will write here, and we'll create two new variables. Actually, three of them. First one, it will be uh, posts. Posts will be of type NS dictionary, like this, and these are posts objects, and then we will create one variable which is skip. Variable skip will be equals 0, means initially skip none of the posts, and another variable will be limit. Limit, let's use initially 10. Okay, so posts variable, this is a dictionary. It will store in itself all post related information like the picture, user, uploaders, first name, uploaders, last name, then text, picture, ava, profile pic, everything. Skip means the post which must be skipped. If you remember while we were writing the protocol to upload the post in PHP language, we were using one value which we used to call it offset. Offset, this means skip. So this we will be using for the pagination. Let's say if we first downloaded 10 posts, and with the second load we will skip 10 posts and we'll load the next 10 posts. And let's say we downloaded, or the 20 posts are shown, then with the next download it will skip the first 20 posts which have been loaded. Okay, so I'm now going right to the bottom, and here we will write a new function which we will call func load posts. Open includes the round brackets, open curly brackets. And here what we will do is we will create here reference variables, which first one will be offset, and this will be of type integer. This means skip, and the second one will be limit of type integer. Okay, so this is the lowest margin of the range. This is the highest margin of the range. Okay, this post will be responsible for loading posts from the server via PHP protocol, which we have created. Okay, very good. So you remember that we passed to the PHP protocol which we've created, which is selectpost.php. We are passing three values, which first one is ID of the user, second one offset, and third one is limit. Okay, let's now access ID. So we'll write guard let ID equals to current user and a question mark, and then in quotation square brackets, then quotation marks, we're accessing ID, else return do not execute it the function further. This will be, we are accessing ID of the user. So this is actually safe mode, the way to access it. Okay, since we have accessed the ID, means if we're able to access ID, then we need to prepare request to be sent to the server. First, we'll declare the URL where we want to send the request, URL, and we'll declare URL through string. String will be http colon //localhost /fb /select posts.php. Let's now copy this URL and we will insert it, and that is the right one. It shows status 400 missing required information. Very good. Okay, so the next step is to create the body, which will be appended to current URL. Body equals to, and in quotation marks, first we'll write ID equals left slash, and we make a reference left slash and the two open and close round brackets. And inside round brackets, we make reference to ID. Then we put and offset equals left slash and open and close round brackets. Equal left slash and open and close round brackets. This makes a reference to the variable, and here we'll make a reference to the variable in the function, which is offset. Then we continue, and limit equals left slash open and close round brackets, and here we'll make a reference to the limit. Very good. So we have done here writing the body, and the next step will be to declare request. Variable var request equals to URL request open round bracket. Make here reference to the URL which we have declared. And don't forget put exclamation mark at the end of the URL. Okay, very good. Now we will declare the mode of the method of the HTTP request, which will be post. Then we'll write request.http body will be equals body, which we have created, and we will convert it to the data type. Data.utf8 encoding. UTF-8 means support all the languages, all the fonts, all the alphabets. Okay, this is how we have prepared the request. Then the next step will be send request. Before I go to the execution of the next step, what I will do, I will copy the body to make sure that there are no mistakes. We'll copy this and we'll come back to our browser. We'll put here question mark, whatever follows the question mark, this is the body. And I will insert here. So left slash and round brackets will replace some values. Limit, I will put 10. Then offset, left slash and the round brackets here, offset, I'll put 0. And ID here, left slash and the square round brackets ID, I'll replace with the 22 because this is a real valid ID of one of my user. That is the one, Joseph Jones. And I will click enter. I'll execute it. And here we go. It retrieves, it returns to me a post. So it means everything working fine. Okay, we're going now to the further step, which is to run the request. We'll write URL session.shared.data task with the URL request with the completion handler. Request will be our request. Completion handler, here data, variable data will get will this data will store all the data received from the server. Response, here we create a new variable. Response will store in it a response received from the server, and error will store all the error received from the server. So once you wrote this code, don't forget here to put .resume. Okay, now we're going in this function. As you remember, the very iron rule is always pass all the communication with the server in the background thread. So we write here dispatch queue.main.asynchronously, means do it in the background. And here we will write first, we'll check if there is an error or not. If error is not nil, which means if error exists, we want to return error occurred. Okay, after that, what we want to do is we want to access data if there are no errors. Here we write do open and close curly brackets, and here you can write immediately catch. And here we will access this data via save mode guard let data, this is a new variable which we created, will be equals to data received from the server. If it cannot be equals to the data, then we want to return this. Okay, access data. This is a save mode. Okay, then after that, if we access data, we casted the data in the save mode, then we want to get the JSON. Let JSON equals try JSON serialization dot JSON object with data, which we have casted right here, data options will be allow fragments, and we want to cast it as NS dictionary. Very good. And the next step will be to here. I'm going back to Safari. As you see, the JSON starts from posts, and then it stores everything here. So this is the key, which is posts, and it has a value, all the posts. Okay, we'll now create one variable which will access all the posts here. Guard let posts equals JSON question mark, then into square brackets, and then in quotation marks we'll write posts as NS dictionary, else return it. Very good. And what we're doing here, you might have a question why we're here using do and catch method. This is actually the syntax of new update of the Swift. We need to cast JSON using try. Whenever there is a try, there first must be in the do catch loop. This is iron. This is just something which you must remember always. Okay, so here we are receiving or converting data to JSON. This is what we're doing here. Here we are accessing JSON data or casting it in the save mode. And the next step will be, so you see this post, and we've created a new variable in this class, which is post. Well, this post will store everything in itself. So we need to assign all the posts to the variable which we have created. Okay, since all the posts are successfully loaded, here we will write self.posts equals to posts. These are the ones. Okay, and one more trick. So you remember, guys, let's say we have loaded the first 5 posts of the user, the first 5 posts. So after we finish loading the first 5 posts, for the next execution, skip will be 5. Means the second load of the posts means, let's say when we'll scroll down and there will be a pagination loading more. So it will skip the loaded 5 posts and then it will load the next 5 posts. Once we have loaded the second time 5 posts more, total will have a 10 loaded posts of the user. With the third load, it will skip the 10 posts which already has been loaded and it will load the next 5 posts. So this is how it works. So the best way to track it here, we'll write self.skip will be equals to the number of posts which have been loaded. So we write posts.count. Very good. And after that, we want to refresh the table view. Table view.reload data. Okay, let me take you through. Here we are assigning all successfully loaded posts to our class variable posts after it got loaded successfully. This is the key point. If it is not loaded successfully, it won't get assigned. And here what we are doing, we are skipping already loaded number of posts for the next load, which is a pagination will be. Okay, and here we are reloading table view to have an effect, means to show the posts. Okay, and here when it get called, so we need to, when it got called, we need to return this as well. So now the last step of this function, writing this function, will be to show some error messages. So since we have them, here are show alert. I will copy show alert from upload image view, and I will just place it here. Helper, the class which we have a show alert, the server error, and it will show localized description. Then we are adding for the data error. It will be data error and the same localized description. And we are adding for the catching the error. If I'm not mistaken, previously we wrote JSON error. Yes, exactly. So here we'll write JSON error and remove this exclamation mark. Because for the catching the error, this variable error doesn't require to be forced downcasted. Okay, so we can now build it, and it will be successfully built. And how we can do this, I will just here try to cut. I will put here a mark to yeah, we didn't run this function yet. Okay, actually this is the function which allows us to download all the posts from the server. Okay, make sure that this code is written correctly without any error. Since you are sure that there are no errors, no typos in the function, we can go to the next video. Good job.